Hi everyone, I'm Rick Beato. Welcome to episode 2 of Everything Music. Remember when I said that intervals were the building blocks of music? Well, triads are the building blocks of harmony. Today we're going to learn everything you ever wanted to know about triads. When I'm driving around in the car, I like to think, do I know all my triad formulas? Actually, that's not what I do. I learned them about 30 years ago. I'm going to teach them to you right now. So, most of you probably know your basic 4 triads, your major, minor, diminished, and augmented. In the key of C, C major would be C, E, G. C minor would be C, E flat, G. C diminished would be C, E flat, G flat, and C augmented is C, E, G sharp. The formulas of these triads can be described in a couple ways. Probably most conventional ways that people will talk about triads is, for example, C major would be 1, 3, 5. What they're referring to there is simply the note placement in the scale, in a major scale. The first note of the scale, third note of the scale, and fifth note of the scale. If you have a C major scale, you have C, E, G, okay, as the first, third, and fifth notes of the scale. So C, D, E, F, G. Those are the 3 notes of a C major triad. A C minor scale, or a C Aeolian scale, would have the notes C, E flat, G, which are the first, third, and fifth notes of those scales. But usually, I like to think of it this way. If you take the 1, 3, 5 of a C major scale and you lower the middle note, the third, from E to E flat, and you'd call it 1 flat 3 5, that's your formula for your minor chord. And then a diminished chord would be 1 flat 3 flat 5, so you flat the fifth, so the G becomes G flat. Same thing for augmented. An augmented would be 1 3 sharp 5, so that would be C, E, G sharp being the sharp 5. So that kind of gives you your basic formulas of those chords. Well, we have a few other chords that we use. For example, a Lydian triad. So a C Lydian triad would be the notes C, F sharp, G. That would be 1 sharp 4 5. And you'd say, well, why would you use that? Well, it's the same reason that you would use a C sus 4, which would be the notes C, F, G. A sus 4 or a suspended 4 is a very common chord. You can have it suspended in a different way. You can have it suspended up to the sharp 4, and that can resolve down to the E, or it can just stay where it is. These chords can be used as permanent structures. A sus 4, a Lydian triad, a suspended 2 triad, a Phrygian triad, which would be 1 flat 2 5. Okay, got my Starbucks here. Okay, let's hear how these sound. This is a major triad. This is C major. All major triads have a major third interval in the bottom and a minor third interval on the top. That's the formula for a major chord, okay? In this case, C, E, G. The outer voices create a perfect fifth interval, okay? So here we go. I'm going to play those. Those are called inversions. That's in root position. That's in the first inversion with E as the lowest note. Second inversion with G as the lowest note. The next one we're going to look at is C minor. We take the E and we move it down a half step. So it's 1 flat 3 5 is the way we say it. C to E flat is a minor third. E flat to G is a major third. It's just the opposite of a major triad, the interval combination. The outer voices are still the same, C to G, a perfect fifth. Okay. Here's the different inversions of C minor, okay? Root position, first inversion, second inversion. We'll get into those more later. This is C diminished, 1 flat 3 flat 5, okay? So we have C, E flat, G flat. Between these two voices, minor third, these two voices, minor third. That's a symmetrical chord voicing, just like the augmented, which we'll get to in a second. Minor third in the bottom, minor third in the top. The two outer voices create a diminished fifth, okay? The next one is C augmented. This is a major third on the bottom and major third on the top. C, E, G sharp. The outer voices create an augmented fifth interval. Okay, here's some of the other less common ones that you actually hear all the time, but you may not know them. C suspended 4. This is 1, 4, 5. The next one, C Lydian. The next one is C Phrygian. 1, flat 2, 5. Now you can take these triads and use them by themselves as their own entities, C major for example, or F sus4, C sus4, B flat sus4, G sus4. We can play them over other chords. We can superimpose them. For example, if I play a C Lydian over E, it becomes an E Aeolian sound. So we got, okay, so E Aeolian is the sixth mode of G major. Here's G major. If I start on E and play the same notes, when we get into our lesson on modes, we're going to talk about that. But I'm picking that C Lydian triad is one of the modes of the G major scale, and that C Lydian triad, I'm playing it over E Aeolian because that chord is within that scale. Okay? I could play a different Lydian triad. I could take B flat Lydian over G minor, which gives me a G Dorian sound, which sounds like that. So that's a Dorian sound, a G Dorian sound. Yo. You can add notes to these too and get added note. This would be a Lydian major sound. We're going to talk about added notes also later. Major, 1, 3, 5. Minor, 1, flat 3, 5. Diminished, 1, flat 3, flat 5. Augmented, 1, 3, sharp 5. Sus 4 or suspended 4, 1, 4, 5. Lydian, 1, sharp 4, 5. And Phrygian, 1, flat 2, 5. If we take a scale, we're going to take a scale out of the D flat melodic minor scale. We're going to take a mode from it called the C alter dominant mode, which is this. It goes over any chord, that dominant seventh chord that has sharp or flatted fifths or ninths. Here's the scale. You'll hear it in jazz a lot, but you'll also hear it in film scoring music. Here's the triads in C altered dominant, C diminished, C augmented, D flat minor, D flat sus 4, E flat minor, E flat sus 4, E augmented, F sharp major, F sharp Lydian, A flat major, A flat sus 4, A flat augmented, B flat diminished. Here's an example of how to use the triads of the C altered dominant scale over a C altered dominant chord. That's it for today. Stay tuned right here on Everything Music. Tell your friends about it and subscribe. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments section below. Thank you.